Okay, so we're starting on 27a. It's Boya Baya. It's 10 lines down from the top approximately. And it's a continuation of what we learned in the Mishnah, that it's possible that someone can use a term for exchange and it's not a violation of Temurah. You can say, Zu mechulelas al zu. If the animal has a mum, and you can say that this animal should be the pidyon, the redemption for this other animal, even though he's actually doing an exchange there, but that's not considered Temurah. Because here he's taking the Kedusha off one, and it's actually happening, and putting it on the other. But if he would be saying Temurah zu, then the Kedusha doesn't go off one, it's just the other one also gets the same Kedusha, and that's the prohibition, and that's the status. That's the laws of Temurah. So, the last Gemara we learned a very interesting discussion about the word tachas, in place of. And he says tachas. Does that mean mechulelas, that it's in place of, that this steps out and this one steps in? Or does it mean tachas, that it's Temurah, that they both in that position at the same time? And we said it depends on the situation. It depends on context. Tachas could mean either one. Okay. The last thing that we said was Ravashi said that if there was an animal that had a balmum, an animal that was a mum, so it's possible that tachas could mean mechalel, that he's redeeming it, and it could also mean temurah. But it depends what animal he puts his hand on when he's saying harezu tachazu. If he's putting his hand on the kodesh animal and he's saying that this should be in place of the mundane animal, that means he's taking this one out of its kedusha and he's putting it onto the mundane animal. So then that's mechalel. Then that's fine. But
what would be his words?
Tachas, harezu tachazu.
No.
This animal, this kodesh animal, should be instead of the mundane animal.
Which mundane animal?
There's a second animal that's not kodesh yet.
Which one was already designated?
There's one animal here, let's say, it has a mum. Okay. So
but it was already made kodesh.
It was made kodesh, but then it got a mum. So now it needs to be redeemed.
Right.
So he goes over to this animal, and he says that this animal should be in place of...
Not in place of.
No, but he says tachas. If he uses the word tachas. So if he uses the word tachas, then this one's stepping out into the mundane. I don't know how you do that, but that's what he says. So then, but we know what he means, that he wants this one to get out of its kedusha. But if he says, he puts his hand on the mundane animal, and he says this should be in place of that, then that means that he's extending the kedusha. That's a din of temurah. And okay, Boya Baya. Baya now is the question. The Mefarshim discussed.
Can you imagine applying these two to Tachas, the law of Hashem, the Simcha? It gives a whole different concept both ways if you try and apply each one.
If it means an exchange, or if it means together with.
Never thought of it.
Okay, Abaya says like this. Abaya has a question. The case doesn't need to be so complicated. The reason why it's getting complicated here is because of a later case. But really, it could be he has one animal. It would be the same halacha. What we're saying here is he has two animals of kodesh, of karbanos that have a mum. He has two animals of chulin that don't have a mum. Okay, so the chulin ones are eligible, but the kodesh ones already have a mum. The problem is he didn't put his hand on either one, saying what he really wants to say over here, and he just said harezu tachasu, harelu tachaselu. So mahu, what's it then? Mi yamar latfu sebalaki. Do we say he was committing a crime? He was trying to do temurah. He was trying to grasp the kedusha from one and bring it onto the other. Or do we say that a person would never leave something permissible just to commit a crime? If you can do it legally, why do you have to do it? Why do you have to do it illegally? They said said it's not that you can't run a nursing home business legally. It's just that no one ever tried. So
That's good. Must have been a California somewhere.
Very good.
Yeah. That's what I always thought.
So would someone do it illegally when he has the ability to do it beheter? That's the question. Vimtim Telaimar. And if we'll say, Kol hechadika hetera leishavik inish vavadisor, or if we'll say that anywhere where there is a heter, no one will leave that. Will forego on the permissible and do it and commit the crime. We'll judge people favorably. I want to point out that the last question had nothing to do with two animals. It could have been exactly with one animal, with the same question. But because the next questions have to do with the amount of animals, so that's why we started off with two animals. But the original question was, if there was that option of doing it correctly or incorrectly, and we don't know, do we say he did it incorrect? Now, if there's two animals of Kodesh, v'achas mem balas mum, one of them has a mum. He has two animals of chulin, one of them has a mum. This is like a perfect shidduch. the one Kodesh has a mum and one chulin has a mum, and then the opposite, one Kodesh doesn't have and one chulin doesn't have. But he doesn't point to which one. He just says, these are in place of these. Mahu. So what's the din over here? This gets very interesting. Now, the one without a mum, there's no question that he did it incorrectly. It's Temurah. You can't. There's no heter of redeeming a karban that doesn't have a mum. You have once it has a mum, then there's potential there. So there's one of them here was incorrect. We call it latfuse, was grasping the kedusha in a way of Temurah. Do we say that the Tamima was together with the Tamima and it was latfuse, which was incorrect? But balasmum tachas balasmum lachuli. But the one with the mum was being redeemed by the other animal with the mum, and that was just to take the money off it, to take the value onto it, and then you're going to sell this one and you buy another one, but that could go like that. So in other words, the redemption could be done with the mum, and that would, should we lessen the crime by saying that the one that could have been correct was done correct? Oy Dilma, or maybe, Tamima dechulin tachas balas mum, we'll mix everything up here. The perfect one of chulin is coming to redeem the balas mum de hektish, and balas mum dechulin tachas tamima de hektish v'tavayalaki. Or do we say that he's doing them both wrong? The Tamima is for sure wrong, of Kodesh, and the Chulin one that has a mum, the karban that has the mum, instead of redeeming it with the mum one, he's redeeming it with the Tamima one, and what he really means to do is to do Temurah. Basically, the question is he doing Temurah? Once we know that he's doing one wrong, do we say that he's doing the other one wrong also? We say, look at what he does all the time. All right? He always does this. So he did it one time, and so that's our question. If you're going to say, do we say that he tried to do whatever he could do correctly? He's doing correctly. What about this? Let's say he has three animals shel kodesh, and one of them has a mum. So there's two that are good and one without. And then he has the same with, and then he has chulin that they're all tmimas. Okay, that doesn't matter really. But v'amar hareilu tachaselu, and he says these are in place of these. So now two of them he's for sure doing incorrectly. Now, it's the last case we said, if there's one of them that he's doing wrong, do we say the other one is doing wrong? Now we say if there's two that he's for sure doing wrong, do we say that the other one he's also doing wrong? Now, so even if we would say that if there's only did it once, so what are you saying? He always does this. He did it once. The other one he did correctly. And I said, no, he did it twice. Mi amrinan midat tmimis tachas tmimis latvusei. So tmimis nami tachas balasmum latvusei. Do we say that the first two were Temurah, so therefore the third one is also Temurah? Dilma hachanami kol hecha dika eter liavadi surah. Vahu basraisa la'achulei. Or do we say that wherever there's potential to do it permissible, he would never commit the sin? In this last one, he's doing it permissible. Vimtim talaymar. And if you're going to say hachanami kivan dika gavra le'es chazik b'surah, you can say 1 second. He only committed the sin twice. That's not a chazaka that he does this all the time. He only had 3 animals. 2 of them we know he did wrong. But that doesn't mean that he always does this.
Did he do them wrong at the same time? Or?
Yeah, because his statement was, Hare elu tachas elu.
Then there is no difference between the second case and the first case, because he did one act. It's just he didn't understand how to do it right. So what's the difference if he did it with one animal or 4 animals? He didn't realize that chazak is repetitive action. This was one action. He just didn't know whether he could do it or not. Sorry about the left hook. You sound like Tosfos.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. I don't know what this is. Let it go for now. All right.
Yeah, what you're asking is, how does he get 2 different actions out of one statement? That's what you're asking.
Basically.
So do we say, the person didn't commit the sin, didn't commit the crime 3 times, so l'shavik keter
Rashi says zenich yodai. He has to put his hand
on each one of them.
Yeah.
So there are different.
No, 1 second. 1 second. Where is that?
Where it says gaver lo yischazen. The b'shlosh zini have a chazaka.
You're saying in
So
the close to Yerushalmi now.
Zenich yodai v'shtein Temurah. Ha'ibel le'nucha yodai ba'asmum dekala she'yeh have b'data l'achuli.
1 second.
So he made a general statement, but then he went into the action in different pieces.
There's a problem here. It's supposed to be Va'al shteyan lo yiniach yadai. He should have.
Yeah, keep on reading. He put the 3. There was physical action here. He had to put the 3 next to the 3. It says zu tachas zu, so he had to be mekaven 1, mekaven another one, mekaven another one. He did it 3 times.
Then it would be.
But he only made one statement.
He made one statement, but in his action, he was action.
Are more powerful
Right,
than words.
that's right.
Well, he was actioning them. He says zu tachas
So I'm
zu.
saying he only made one word, but he did it.
That would be a good answer.
Thanks, Rashi.
Thanks, Ryan.
Okay, could be. I have to go through this slowly. This is Rashi quotes the Yerushalmi, and all of this. We've been having a lot of Yerushalmis here from Rashi. No, but there is no Talmud Yerushalmi on Kachin. So, besides, I'm just thinking about the forger. I forgot his name. Friedlander. There was a guy 150 years ago, or 200 years ago, that forged the Yerushalmi and Kachin. He sold it. It was like a big thing. But so I'm just thinking how he did it through this, because Rashi quotes Lashon Yerushalmi, Lashon Yerushalmi, Lashon Yerushalmi. I mean, someone could do this. Someone could put this together. I mean, I wouldn't be able to get what he put together.
It was a big Talmud.
Yeah, it was a big Talmud Chacham.
That you said for the wrong thing?
I don't know. We don't really understand the mindset of a forger. It's like, if you're such a big
a
Talmud
business.
Chacham, why couldn't you write a good sefer? Why do you have to, But okay. So you could buy it, by the way.
By what?
It's on eBay, the forgery. You know,
They
if you're
still
into
print it?
history, no, it's out of print. I'm saying you buy an old one from. I saw a sefer.
The forged Yerushalmi or
Yeah, the forged Yerushalmi. I saw a sefer. I was in Montreal. They had a big library. I saw an old sefer. I was looking. He says, "This is what he wants to say." And he says, "And now that the Yerushalmi on Kachim was discovered, so this proves to what I'm saying."
Wow.
But it was in between, when it was published and the way they caught it. Okay, Boy Ravashi. There's another question here. Hayilafan of Arba Behemoth. If he has 4 animals, shall kodesh, v'yachas mem balas mum, and one of them has a mum, so there's potential here that he's doing one of them right, and there's 3 that he's for sure doing wrong. So here we're already getting this chazik. V'arba behemoth shel chulin. Okay. V'amar hariel tachaselu, and he says these are in place of these. Mahu hachavada kiven des chazik gavra bisuri. So lucky barba malchus. Here we have a guy that is committing the sin 3 times. So he should get 4 malchus, because even though we don't know for sure that the 4th one was incorrect, but we see what he's doing. So idil mafal gav des chazik bisur, but just because he doesn't keep this halacha when it's impossible, but it doesn't mean when it is possible. And the last one was done correctly, so take it. We leave this last one as a question. Very interesting.
it was sold at auction. 2 parts here.
It was sold.
Yes, it's Talmud Yerushalmi Kachim, forged in parentheses, 2 parts. It's sold at auction, but it doesn't give me the price.
For the history, it's like a big...
Polish and Hungary. Thank you. Very interesting.
Question. This whole daf and the one that came before it, talking about the change in the status of this object.
Right.
And this whole discussion, I keep wanting to relate it back to Berg Zahav. And it's like that doesn't occur. You know,
We're going to have it over here. It's going to come back to
similar.
Hazav in the next piece. This may clarify it. Wait one more...
You waited
one
so
more,
long.
Okay.
one more piece, and then you may have some clarity. Okay, let's say the hektish is. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see, because it prompted that. If hektish has a mum, so then, and the person says that he's redeeming the kodesh, then it goes out to chulin, and it's not Temurah, it's a redemption, because a carbon with the mum you have to redeem. What happens if the value isn't the same, this animal and that one? So we said you have to make up the money.
So
That's what we said in the Mishnah. He didn't do Temurah, and the animal had. Okay. Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan says Yatzel Chulin Dvar Torah. When the Mishnah says that it's Yatzel Chulin, that's midaraisa. It's Yatzel Chulin. However, when the Mishnah says that you have to make up the money, that's only rabbinic. Because min Torah, there's no such thing as overcharging hektish. It says, Al tainu isha sachiv. A man cannot oppress, financially oppress by overcharging, and then his brother. In hektish is not his brother.
So there's no ona?
There's no ona, the hektish. So far, that's how we're learning, and we're going to see soon.
Should go check the grocery stores. Pesach.
Okay, so that's all rabbinic, that you have to make it up. Rish Lakish Amar, after classes Dvar Torah. Rish Lakish says no. That's also biblical. That you have to make up the money, that it has to be the equivalent value. Gemara says, B'maya skinan, what are we dealing with? Inema aina, are we talking about aina now in those chapters over there in Bab Metzia, and Hazav, and Yesh Neichlin? The concept of aina is 1/6. Not Yesh Neichlin, what's the Izar Neshach? The concept of aina is that you can't charge more than 1/6 of the market value for that item. without the person agreeing to that specifically. You can't just say, oh, this is the price, and you really overpriced it by 1/6. If you do over 1/6, then the whole sale is nullified. The guy gets his money back, the seller gets his item back. If it's exactly 1/6, then the sale is still valid. But the overpricing needs to be returned. So,
what if the buyer offers more and wants to pay?
Yeah, that's
more?
fine. That's fine. If it's say, if the
Sometimes
guy
that-
says, "I know what I'm paying. I want it for a certain reason. My grandmother used to have this, and I just wanted, then that's fine." But if you're buying an item that's whatever food or whatever that is, so then and the person's claiming that the market is different, so that's overcharging us, So, are we talking about the 1/6? And in this, Rish Lakish says that you need to return you need to make up the difference in value biblically. But we have a clear Mishnah. This is in Bab Metzia. This is in Hazav, right? Nunvav is Hazav. Elu dvarim shein l'mayna. These don't have ayna. These don't have this rule. Ha'avadim va'ashtaris va'karkos va'kteshus. Someone sells a slave, a document, and a property, or hektish. Well, hektish he's not selling, but he's redeeming. So all of those don't have ayna. In other words, whatever you pay for it, so it doesn't matter. The sale is good. So
is that the document itself, or what's covered under the document?
if someone buys not the document as a stopper for his wine, but he buys the document to be able to collect those debts, like
It's a mortgage.
a mortgage document. He buys those. So
The notes.
he buys the notes. So for property, I understand how this works, and even for slaves, I understand how this works. That when I was moving here to Bais, I was looking at houses. I didn't know what I'm doing, but anyway, Chaim tells me, "Oh, the value will come in. Don't worry." So that was like, so when it comes to property, you can overpay if you want the house. You overpay. It's not like you lost on that. A few years down the road, that's its value anyway. So really by hektik, we learn it from psukim, but there's also a logic to it when it comes to property, and it could be by slaves also. That there's income that you can get from it that you can't determine before. But another thing is hektish. So what are we saying that Dvar Torah there's a na? According to Rish Lakish, we have a Mishnah that says there's no na. Rish Lakish says Namayra. The Mishnah says there's no na. Ella bitul mekach. We're talking about more than a na, more than a 6. He totally overcharged him. And bitul mekach means the whole sale becomes nullified. Over here you want to say by bitul mekach, if he overcharges him more than a 6, that Rabbi Yochanan says that that's only rabbinic that it gets returned, that he has to make up the money. We have a machlekes here, Rabbi Yirmiyah and Rabbi Yoina, how this works. But Rabbi Yirmiyah says akarkois dechulin, Rabbi Yoina marek deishes, and Rabbi Yoina says on hektish. Let's continue further. We'll see what they're saying. Tavayim shmeid Rabbi Yochanan amri ayna ein lehem b'pitul mekach yesh lehem. That there is a concept of the sale being nullified if you overcharge more than a 6. According to Rabbi Yirmiyah on land, and according to Rabbi Yoina on hektish. So how could we say that we're discussing over here that the inequivalent was more in value between hektish and the mundane, those two animals, was more than a 6, and we have a machlekes Rabbi Yochanan and Rish Lakish. And Rabbi Yochanan says that it doesn't need to be returned biblically. That's not so. Rabbi Yochanan, according to Rabbi Yoina, says that if it's more than a 6, it does need to be returned. So we're in a real fix over here. Because if we're talking about exactly 1/6, so how does Reish Lakish say that it's biblical that you need to return the money? We have a Mishnah that says that you don't need to. If it's more than 1/6, how do we say Rabbi Yochanan says that it's biblical that you don't need to return the money? We have Rabbi Yochanan himself saying, and then Rabbi Yoina saying the name of Rabbi Yochanan, that you do have to. That the wholesale is batal. So the Gemara answers this. It says, La'olam habitul mekach ve'epach. We're going to keep where we're holding right here. We're talking about that the difference in price is more than 1/6. You had a kasha on Rabbi Yochanan because Rabbi Yoina says in Rabbi Yochanan's name that the sale is nullified. That's not a kasha, because we made a mistake. You have to change the names around. And Rabbi Yochanan is the one that holds that it's biblical that the sale is nullified, and that you need to make up the money biblically. Reish Lakish was the one that it's only rabbinic, and now it fits. Because no one said in the name of Reish Lakish that the sale is batal. It was only in the name of Rabbi Yochanan that someone said the sale is batal. And Rabbi Yochanan will hold. In other words, we'll switch this first statement. Rabbi Yochanan says Dvar Torah, it's yet to lechulin, but tzarich lasim midivrayim. No, that's Reish Lakish. Rabbi Yochanan is really the one that says af tzarich lasim damim Dvar Torah. Okay. The Gemara says mi matzir amrit epach. When you switch it around, then you have a problem. Why? Because remember, we had two opinions. We had Rabbi Yirmiyah's din and you had Rabbi Yoina's din. Rabbi Yirmiyah says that Rabbi Yochanan only says that it's bittul mekach on karka, not on hektish. So when you switch it around, yes, you resolved Rabbi Yoina, but you did not resolve Rabbi Yirmiyah. If you want to say that Rabbi Yoina holds that, so then fine, that it becomes it's bittul mekach. The sale is nullified if there was overcharging. Elamanda markarkois, but according to Rabbi Yirmiyah, that said that Rabbi Yochanan only says that the sale is nullified on land. But when it comes to redeeming something from hektish, we do not say the sale is nullified. We say that it's totally redeemed. How can you turn this around? So, in other words, it's messing up the halacha of Rabbi Yirmiyah. So Rabbi Yirmiyah, it's supposed to be Amalach Rabbi Yirmiyah. Amalach. When it says Amar, it means that he's actually said it. When it says Amar Lach, Rashi and Avodah Zarah tells us that Amar Lach means that he didn't really say it. He could have said it. He would say to you. And as we're responding that, this is what he would say. So Amar Lach Rabbi Yirmiyah, Lei Tepach. Don't turn it around. And Leima B'deshmol Kamiflagi will say that the machlekes between Rabbi Yoina and Rabbi Yirmiyah is regarding a din of Shmuel. Now, what did Shmuel say? Shmuel says exactly this halacha. He says, Damar Shmuel, hektish shav mana. We've had this before. That if hektish has the value of a mana, that means 100 silver coins, shechil al shava pruta, that you redeemed for a penny, a shava pruta, mechulal, it's redeemed. It comes out of hektish on that smallest amount. The Rabbi Yoina Leslie the Shmuel. Rabbi Yoina says that that's not so. There's bittul mekach. What you did was nothing. And Rabbi Yirmiyah the Shmuel, and Rabbi Yirmiyah holds of Shmuel. So Shmuel said it clearly. He's in Bavel, and that's what he said. There's a machlekes in Eretz Yisrael. What Rabbi Yochanan holds? Does he agree with Shmuel or not? The Gemara says lie. You're making this huge machlekes here. That's not what's going on. Bein demar Leslie the Shmuel. Everyone accepts Shmuel's din. That hektish could be redeemed for a penny. I'm not so familiar with what goes on in Eretz Yisrael with but if they have to do redemption of Meiser Sheni, right? So they separate it. They separate the tenth. They just leave it. The first tenth they just leave on the side, probably, and it rots. But the second tenth, there's a mitzvah to redeem it. And then you would take that money to Yerushalayim. Now, we're not going to take the money to Yerushalayim, but I think they're supposed to redeem it. So they probably have to take a coin, a minted coin. Now, do they need the actual value or not? I don't know if they need that. I think it would be good. Didn't we say Meiser Sheni is Nischal on even on a Shavah Pritah or something? That's how Meiser Sheni comes into Hazav. That's how that whole sugi is there.
Yeah.
With the wall, if the wall is still there, the wall of Yerushalayim, if it's there.
I would think the problem would be bigger if it's a minted coin rather than a disc of metal, because now the value's fixed.
Right. But I
And
think there's a
dependable.
special pasuk that says v'tzarta hakesef, that it needs to have a tzura.
Right.
Okay, so everyone agrees to Shmuel that you can redeem hektish on just the one coin, sort of like a token redemption. The term token on a token. The Rabbi Yomi says Ki Amar Shmuel di'eved. Okay, don't get confused over here with the term di'eved. Aval lechatchila lo. Tosfos explains what Rashi over here, that di'eved means intentional. When does Shmuel say that it works? If you know the value of the coin, you know the value of your hektish, you know that the price is not the same, and you say that this should be redeemed for that, so he's doing it on purpose, everything is clear, so then it's redeemed. Aval lechatchila. But if he thinks it's the same price, and he's really mistaken, and it's not the correct value, what he's thinking, then it doesn't work. Then aval lechatchila lo yamar. But lechatchila, then he didn't say that it works. This is Rabbi Yomi's din, where Rabbi Yomi says that there's such a thing as bittul mekach. Why? Because the person made a mistake in its value,